I think the title "I'll Play the Back" has three main meanings for me. The first one is to have your back, obviously. If you feel you're gonna fall, I'll be your friend or I'll be there for you. I'll play the back, I'll catch you. The second one is a little more in homage of, the greats who may have come before you, that you won't step on their toes. And the third most important one for me, when I was 17 years old, I went to rehab. And at first, it was like the worst experience ever. You got to be up at 7 in the morning, in bed at 10. Every hour interval of the day, they got something planned for you, meetings, all this serious stuff. But over time, it became such a brotherhood with the guys you're living with, almost like a movie. You're running off to the bathroom to try to sneak a cigarette because you're 17, and the staff is running after you, trying to catch you. But one of the things we were able to do for leisure, we had an hour where we could go to the gym and you do weights and whatever, but we ended up breaking out into these huge games of volleyball, and it's just a light memory, something fun. You're with your boys and you go running in like, I'll play the back or I got the front. And so it ended up being a really pivotal moment of my life, and I just thought that this embodies where I am now, and that as well. Well, the journey in creating I'll Play the Back, it was incredible. The first day that we did anything for it, we had a meeting January 31st, 2016, and the EP and the music video for Shine were both released on November 11th, 2016. So it took, even for the four songs, like that 10 months or whatever, just because we wanted it to sound so, you know, sonically impressive, how we imagined it, the lyrics to be right. The songs went through multiple changes in order to try to tell a story. But all in all, I think the whole journey in creating it was something that was very exciting, and you got to be in the studio or brainstorming with, all types of creative people. So very cool. The storyline for Shine, it was meant to be built off two classic themes. The first one being wanting to run to the top of a mountain or hill and profess your love, I'll scream it from the mountaintop or whatever. The second one being the theme of a message in a bottle to send to a long distance love, something romantic and cute, whatever. But when we were doing the video, I wanted it to be, at one point kind of wild with the wind blowing and on top of this mountain, but also, you know, keeping it city and street and stuff like that. So basically, I wanted to be able to dance. I want to be able to perform the song, present the song, and at the end, tie it together with something a little bit, leave it to the imagination. I'm leaving behind this message, this my heart, something cute for the person you love, and it's just like you tell them to come find it, come get it from you, something flirty. So it was meant to be built around that. Behind the scenes moments, uh well, in the setting, if you watch the video, it looks like, there's a scene where we're in the country, and there's a scene where there's graffiti on the wall and I'm dancing, and there's a scene where it's almost like another urban element, but it's like kind of Japanese, with the trash cans, and then the storyline is like in an alley. So it's funny because it looks like it's like, all these different places, but it was really one location. So me and my filmer director wanted to make sure that we really made it so you couldn't tell that it was all the same place until the last scene. Thought it'd be cool in that last slow motion shot to show that it all comes full circle. And then the only other behind the moment scene that I can think of is, well, there was originally going to be a different video that was going to be shot a month prior because we couldn't get permission for the location until there was this innate kind of gut instinct to keep trying, and eventually we were able to convince the people with the liability to let us use it, and so I'm very thankful for that. I have worked at music. I mean, my earliest memories of it, I was, in like four running around in a Simba costume, doing Lion King. Or my dad will give me a wooden spoon to sing Born in the USA. Those are my earliest memories, but my first professional time, I was in middle school, and I got an audition for a kind of like a talent, um, voting off kind of show for kids. It was going to film in Indiana. And so, all in all, I got the part. I went, we shot at a hotel in Indiana. You got to do the runway, you got to act, sing, the whole nine. Um, and then it was going to air locally in Indiana, and then they were going to push for it to go nationwide afterward. So it's in the TV guide, everything. We're all excited up until the night before. The day it's supposed to air, they put a Simpsons rerun on instead because a couple of the scenes with the lighting weren't good enough. So that was kind of like, one of those moments where you're like, what? But then I still won the contract. But since my family and my father was in local employment, I couldn't move there. So I got to visit California for the first time, which was crazy. But some of the people who I had been, on the show with and stuff, they were in like the OC, or they were on Bratz commercials. So it was hard for me to have to let go of that. I went into high school, and I had an amazing social time in high school. But as soon as college hit, it's been one day after another, leading to today, leading to this EP. And so what music means to me is it just gets you going, it gets you excited, you get in a good mood, or you got something to say, and yeah, that's that. Things people should know about me, I'll do three. First one, the first time I remember being like completely awestruck by a celebrity, I was like 9 years old, and I was in this place, and Lindsay Lohan was there. And I just remember like looking through this crack in this door and being like, whoa, like that's Lindsay. Like she's in movies, but she's here. Like, how is that possible? Probably acted a little bit like a fool, but always was a big supporter since then, and it was just a crazy moment. A second one would probably be, I've always been allergic to dogs, but I got to have one for like 5 days. It looked like a little fox, and I'm obsessed with foxes. I got to like, play with it, would fall asleep in my arms. It was just crazy. And then my brother got allergic reaction, and my dad screamed at me, and I had to give it away. So you know what I'm saying? It was one of those moments. And a third would probably be, my goal in life is to help the homeless, the war veterans, or people who lost limbs, and the mentally disabled after high school. I hope to give them well, I'd love to see them find a place where they could have big couches and arcade games, a community to be, so they don't feel alone. Well, without giving away too much, I will be getting back in the studio for a tie-in to I'll Play the Back. It won't be a new project, and I'm gonna continue to promote. Just basically even started promoting I'll Play the Back with this interview, with other things to come. So you should keep your eye out. Here's a 10-second clip of my song "Spin That." I've been trying, say you're so fine, to get me out, got me begging for a baby. Spin that is it's really kind of rambunctious. It's just, let loose on a Friday, throw your hands in the air, go to the club, have a good time. It was inspired by 90s R&B on the hook, 80s rock on the guitar riffs. It just is a kind of a cool song. I wanted to tie in some messages, like, some hidden kind of cool inspirational messages that people could think about and think about what am I saying potentially. But at the heart of the song, it's about, you know, having this huge crush on someone that you almost can't take it and just being like, I need to go to the club and just listen to music and like not think about this tonight. Cause yeah. Here is a 10-second clip of my song Best Game So Fly. I need you badly, you're feeling on me frequently. Without you on the fly, sometimes can't find air to breathe. Best Game So Fly is really, that song where you're driving down the highway in a fresh sports car at night with your homies and some, girls or whatever, and the lights are hot and you're just in your best mode and you're just spitting game and you're just staying real smooth about it. So that's kind of the heart of that song. It has a Spanish vibe to it, which I love, and you should check it out. Here's a 10-second clip of my song Shine. Baby, tell me why I spend all of my time, tears on the ground. Shine is kind of like the baby of the record, the baby of the EP, I should say. It's just like a song that's meant to make you feel good about yourself. It's built on, just if you have anxiety, it's an anxiety reducing song. It's just basically like a big compliment in a song. If you don't feel good today, just listen to it and the words are true. It was inspired a lot by Elvis and Mariah Carey. That's who I was listening to at that time. So I try to, hit cool notes or do acapellas like Elvis, but keep it true to me. So it just has a natural, simple vibe to it. Here's a 10-second clip of my song Got Me Falling in Love. All my life been working for a moment. Thought you there, had you gone emotion. So I just Got Me Falling in Love is a very deep, special song to me. It's the song that once it was completed, we knew that the EP was done and was ready. It goes through a couple different stages. The beginning of the song talks about being a young adult and not really always knowing what you should be yet or where you should be in your life. And then it becomes less serious and it goes through these stages, kind of like the stages of love. I feel a lot of people could relate to it. And ultimately, it becomes that party song in the club, but like with a deepness to it and the people or that you care about the most in mind. So it really incorporates my whole life, my whole journey up until this point, everyone I've worked with, everyone I've come across, everyone who's inspired me. This is the song that really kind of just it puts it all together. So I was blown away when I heard Josh and Wayne do the song. It was like a early summer morning, like a hazy summer morning. I hadn't really slept, and I heard them like just do this guitar riff, and I'm like, whoa, like that's I was blown away by their talent. So in terms of specific places I find musical inspiration, it could kind of hit you anywhere. I'm really inspired by all the eras of time: 70s, 40s, the 80s, 90s, 60s. I find, that everything's new, everything's old, everything's coming, everything's past, no matter if it's 2020 or 1920. So when my eyes opened a lot through exploring music and exploring different times, there's just a lot out there. There's a lot of blessings out there. So you could have music inspiration for weeks. You can make 40 amazing songs. So do 40 amazing projects. So just to stay excited and know that nothing's impossible, I think creates all types of inspiration. The difference, there's definitely a difference. They're both amazing. Going to the studio is like you don't know what you're gonna come up with. You don't know what you're gonna hear that day. It's like a blank palette. Sometimes it's you and just the one producer, or you and two producers, or sometimes photographers are coming in, or friends, and they have their drinks or whatever. But you gotta keep it professional, you know. And then so it's really fun. It's really creative and everything. And then in terms of the process of creating the video, is like that's when you can become really artistic, and you know you can bring the vision to life that you want people to see in the song. You can dance, you can bring props, or find a cool location, or again work with a great videographer, or someone that really can bring your vision to life. So they're both amazing aspects of it. They both take hard work, but they're both worth it. What I would tell someone who hasn't heard my music yet but is going to for the first time, the first thing I would say is thank you, you know. The second thing is just to be excited, let it make you feel good, think about the person you like, have a good time, just don't take it too serious and just have fun. And I hope you enjoy it, and thank you.